I will punch myself in the face if we don't get another big, good direct this year. Hi, YouTube. Messy, messy, messy. I have the mess so I don't have to. Take that. Oh, don't look at the closet over there. Don't. Don't. It's been 4 or 5 days since Nintendo's E3 Direct. It feels like it's been a month at this point. It's been such a long week. If you're new to the channel, you might not know this, but I do a recap of the Nintendo Direct every single year, and I try and get it up as quickly as I can after the Nintendo Direct. That did not happen this year. I actually did record it the day of the event. You can see up here. Hi, YouTube. As of today, yet another E3 has wrapped up and is in the rearview mirror. Unfortunately, I had computer issues. I had put lots of hours into editing and had this crazy error with the hard drive, and boom, the whole thing's gone. So I did put it together. It just took me longer than it normally would. So what I did this year is I have 2 recaps of the event. I have the normal one, which you'll see in this video, which is actually cut down more than I would even usually cut it down. I think it's about 7 minutes. And I also have like a super crazy cut, super short. I did 1 minute, all of the games announced and all of their release dates. I'll tell you real quick that for me, the Nintendo Direct this year was pretty middle of the road. I have some favorite announcements that I'm really excited for, and also some things that I think some people were crazy excited for that I'm like, eh. One important thing for everyone to know, Nintendo gave me this box. It says break in case of extreme excitement. I didn't break it, and it's not because I wasn't excited, it's because I failed to realize that the thing that you have to break, the layer in here, is like a thick 1/8 inch sheet of acrylic plastic, and I tried punching it, I tried elbowing it. It's not breaking. I'm gonna remember to bring a hammer with me next time, so the next time we do a live reaction, I'll be actually ready to break it. But for those who are wondering, it just contained some party poppers, and there's a like noisemaker, like those hands that you clicky clack. So super appreciate the sentiment from Nintendo, but I gotta save it for next time since I failed in that department. Hey, and before we head into this video talking about my opinions on the Nintendo E3 Direct, I think it's worth reiterating their opinions. We all got them. It's okay. You don't have to agree with me. It's fine. Like, just be respectful to one another. It's not that hard. It's really not. Come on. And if I say I don't like something, it doesn't mean that I'm not happy for the people who do like it. It doesn't mean that I'm not happy that those creators created the thing. One of the great things about a good Direct is that there's something for everyone. And I do think Nintendo achieved that this week. A little positivity goes a long way. We'll leave it at that. If you don't want to watch the recap, I'll go ahead and put a timestamp up here. Go ahead and skip ahead if you don't need the recap and you just want straight opinions at the end. Transition. Let's begin. I took notes. The show started off with a Smash announcement, the only Smash announcement we got, meaning there's still one character open somewhere out there. That's not how that song goes. And the fighter that announced was Kazuya from the Tekken series. Every character is hype for someone. That was definitely not like the really hype right foot to step onto for starting the Direct for me personally. Life is Strange, True Colors, and Remastered are both coming to Switch. And then the second game that Square Enix brought out was actually Guardians of the Galaxy, which they announced earlier this week. I personally was pretty surprised. The stuff that we saw looked clean. It might be fine. Worms Rumble, Asteria Ascending. I feel like the selection of games being announced is very strange. Like, how were they chosen? Two Point Campus, which was also announced earlier during E3. And then a new announcement, Super Monkey Ball. I forgot the name. Banana Mania. It appears to be like a collection / remaster of the first 3 Monkey Ball games. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania will include more than 300 recreated levels and refined versions of the 12 multiplayer minigames from the original games. Oh, they won't be playable online though. Sega. Mario Party Superstars, which seems to be a collection of some of the favorite levels and minigames from the N64 Mario Party games. So already got my thumbs up there. I haven't tried it yet, so I say this with a grain of salt, but seemingly what we've been asking for so many years, like just give us classic Mario Party. with online multiplayer. Just please, that's all we need. Like no fancy schmancy, like just classic Mario Party online multiplayer. October, everything comes out in October. Possibly the biggest hype announcement of the entire stream, especially for a certain subset of Nintendo fans. Metroid Dread. What I can tell you after watching the trailer, the information about the game, and both of the Treehouse presentations on the game, it looks fantastic, but also kind of terrifying. The robot, ugh. This one is also getting an amiibo set and a special edition, both of which I have failed at pre-ordering so far. Just Dance 2022, Cruisin' Blast, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and New Power Awakens. Probably pronouncing things wrong. Mario Golf Super Rush. They actually talked about this more than I expected them to. I didn't think Nintendo was going to talk about Super Rush at all. They did. Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin also got more time than I expected it to. WarioWare got its new title, new game. WarioWare Get It Together. Doesn't appear to have any online like multiplayer or competitive play at all. There is local co-op. Local co-op is just like the bane of my existence as a person who plays alone at home all the time. But regardless of that, WarioWare Get It Together does look really good. It's got all the classic WarioWare characters. They all have their different moves. They all do things differently. It's really cool looking. Danganronpa was announced to be getting a new port called Danganronpa Decadence, which includes games 1 through 3, the anniversary editions. Danganronpa S Ultimate Summer Camp, which I think is like a board game type thing from Danganronpa 3, has been expanded into a standalone game, and that will be available in the eShop. Shin Megami Tensei 5, it looks great. They played this in the Treehouse too. It looks so good. A new game was announced in the Fatal Frame series too, called Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater. I can't play scary games, not for me, but really cool, and I'm really glad that the Fatal Frame series lives on. Doom Eternal's DLC was announced to be coming out today, The Ancient Gods Part 1. Also coming out today in the eShop, a game called Strange Brigade. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 got another shout out. That comes out on June 25th. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is the sequel to the Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle game made by Ubisoft, was announced at Ubisoft's conference a couple days ago, but Nintendo just reiterated it. Same trailer, nothing new shown, but Nintendo also did kind of accidentally leak that game before Ubisoft's press conference, so I don't know. They owe Ubisoft or something. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. It wasn't until I wrote that down and read it like 10 times that it clicked that it's a reboot and boot camp. Big brain. And then they moved over to the Zelda portion of the Direct, which was, I think it was a little less than the last 10 minutes. So first we got news about the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC. Basically, the 2 new playable characters. One is like you can play as a guardian. You just zoop things with your eye cannon. And the other is you can now play with Zelda using the motorcycle as a weapon. And Link got a new weapon. I forget what it's called, but basically the Guardian's arms. You can just whip people with. We also got names for the DLC. So the first DLC is now called Pulse of the Ancients. And the second DLC is called Guardian of Remembrance. Both interesting. Skyward Sword HD, nothing new to show, but they just reiterated pretty quickly that it comes out on July 16th. And then Aonuma pulled out of his pocket The Legend of Zelda Game & Watch, which actually contains 3 Zelda games. Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. Unfortunately, alongside this very exciting announcement of the Game & Watch, we got Aonuma saying this.
This year, the original Legend of Zelda game reaches its 35th anniversary. While we don't have any campaigns or other Nintendo Switch games planned,
very sad. It would appear from what we're hearing today that there's no Zelda 35 celebration. There's no Year of Zelda like there was for Mario. This is the Zelda 35 celebration. Just the Game & Watch. That's it. But then, just like that, Aonuma picked up all us sad Zelda fans and said, here's your Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. Take it. I was happy. It was a good trailer. It's about what I expected, a cinematic trailer. It's still so many secrets still, and it's not coming out till 2022, and the way it was worded actually has me thinking now holiday 2022. Previously I was saying earlier 2022. I'm not leaning that way anymore. In many ways, I think it did open more questions than it did answer, which is okay because the game is so far from coming out, but oh my god, it's going to be so hard to wait another more than a year probably. And then that was it for the E3 announcements. Not that that wasn't a lot, that was about 30 announcements. But what was shocking to me is that there was no more at the end, no one more thing. It was very strange to not get that. It just feels unresolved. The Direct then moved directly into the Treehouse stream where we got some more in-depth gameplay of a bunch of games. And then weirdly, at the end of the Treehouse, they basically said, all right, all of the clips are going to be available on our YouTube. Also, there's clips from another game that we didn't play in the Treehouse. They didn't say what game. They just said, yeah, also there's like another one in there. And then the other one turned out to be No More Heroes 3. And I'll say the weird thing about No More Heroes 3 is that the build that they were playing, at least, which I don't know if it's the most recent build, but I also don't know why you wouldn't show off the most recent build for E3, did not look polished enough for a game coming out in August. I don't know what's going on with that game. Something weird. And that's it. That's all the news. It's been a few days since the Direct. I've had some time to think about the Direct itself, my opinions on it, some different possibilities for why Nintendo might have done things the way they did. The third-party game selection for what was shown to me was strange. I don't know. It was just weird. We got the Pokemon Unite trailer a few days after the E3 Direct. That would have been awesome to see. I don't know. Maybe it was held back because of various contentions with Tencent as a developer or publisher. And some of the things they showed, like the Monster Hunter Rise trailer or the Rayman Rabbids trailer, they were shown at other conferences, so they weren't surprising. And when you take the element of surprise out, even if it's good news, it's like, oh, okay, thanks. Thank you. It's not that it doesn't add to the Direct, but it doesn't add to the hype of the Direct. I do overall think the pacing was a little strange this Direct compared to others, a little not as good. And I think a big part of that is that there wasn't like one huge unexpected announcement at the end. I think if I were structuring the Direct, I probably would have actually started on the Smash character, even though he wasn't hype for me. I'm sure Kazuya is a hype character for a lot of people. And also I think Smash character reveals make the most sense to start on. That's what I expected them to start on, and it was correct. I think what I would have done is saved the Metroid Dread announcement for the last thing in the show. Go all the way through the show, do the Zelda stuff, and then right at the end, boom. Metroid Dread. I think I also would have put that big reel of upcoming games back in, even like little games, big games, all the games, just stick that reel in there. We didn't really get that. Like, we got, again, a weird assortment of third-party games. Like, just an example, 2 Point Campus is a game I'm personally excited for. I really want to play that game, and I'm excited it's on Switch. But is it really like E3 newsworthy? It doesn't even come out till next year. And if it is E3 newsworthy, then why not also include like a little reel for No More Heroes 3 or any other game coming out over the next several months, of which I probably couldn't even name for you right now because they weren't included in the E3 Direct. That said, the surprise announcements that did rear their heads were both surprising and exciting for me, including Mario Party Superstars, which is something I've been asking for a long, long time. WarioWare, again, I'm really excited. I'm a little bummed that there doesn't appear to be online multiplayer, but I'll take what I can get. And by the way, I've seen some websites that I think have been misreporting online multiplayer for WarioWare. I double-checked everything that they said about the game. I double-checked the website for the game that Nintendo put up, and all I can see is local co-op. I'd be happy to be wrong about that, so feel free to correct me. Metroid Dread, of course, was a big, exciting announcement. I personally have never really been big into Metroidvania style games. 2D platformers in generally are not my shtick. I will try it like I try all of the Metroid games, and I will probably give up because I'm so bad at 2D platformers, but the game looks fantastic, and I'm so excited for Metroid fans who get something that they've actually been waiting for, even though it's not Metroid Prime 4. It's a good little exciting announcement to tide us all over until Prime 4. This is from Sega, but Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is really exciting for me as a big Monkey Ball fan. Whoa, that was my tummy made a sound. And I think the Advance Wars Reboot Camp is also a super exciting announcement. The Zelda trailer was also good. It's actually kind of exciting in some ways because it creates a lot of questions. It gives us a lot to explore and say, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. We can guess. We don't know yet, but I look forward to finding out. And the Zelda Game & Watch, awesome. Great announcement. Happy to have it. But I will say that pretty much the biggest disappointment for me from this Direct was Aonuma straight up saying that there aren't any plans for a big Zelda 35 celebration, no more game announcements. That's the biggest failure of my E3 predictions. I really thought this was going to be like the kickoff of Zelda 35, and here we are. It is not that. I don't think it precludes us from getting more Zelda ports in the near future. In fact, I think it's extremely likely that we will be getting more Zelda ports. And I think those Zelda ports are going to include Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. I just think that they're not bundling it into a pretty package like Zelda 35. And I obviously don't know this for a fact, but if I had to guess, I would say that the Mario 35 planning all happened pre-COVID, and the Zelda 35 planning got caught in the pandemic crossfire, and that's why we didn't get a huge put together Zelda 35th anniversary celebration. It is what it is. There's always year 40, or like start making your predictions now for Zelda's 50th anniversary because it's gonna be awesome. I would say the only other big disappointment for me would be Animal Crossing not getting an update announced during E3. And again, this could be another pandemic-related delay at this point for sure. Bill Trinen did say after in an interview that there is more Animal Crossing news coming. It just wasn't shown at E3. So fingers crossed, we're still getting that 2.0 update someday soon. Which brings me to my final point. Nintendo has actually done a pretty good job pre-pandemic and then kind of jumbled up in the pandemic of sorting their announcements out throughout the year. So many of the announcements that we just learned about this week: Advance Wars, WarioWare, Mario Party Superstars, Fatal Frame, Super Monkey Ball, Metroid Dread, Kazuya, etc. All of these are coming out in 2021, this year. Many of them are coming out in September and October. That's July, August, 3 and 4 months away. So once again, we get into this pattern of if Nintendo only wants to announce things within 6 months of their release, then that means that they're holding on to big announcements that are going to be coming out either at the end of this year or early next year to announce later, because we have more directs to come for certain. I will punch myself in the face if we don't get another big, good direct this year. And I will tell you now that I don't intend to punch myself in the face, but I am a fangirl of my word. If I were to guess, I would actually say that we're probably having 2 more directs, either 2 medium-sized one or a small one and a big one, and I would say September and November. Here's the challenge I'll leave you with. Comment below your favorite announcement from Nintendo and also your biggest disappointment. For me, I would probably say favorite Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, but most exciting, unexpected, probably actually Mario Party All-Stars. Superstars. Oh goodness, I'm going to say that wrong more than once. And biggest disappointment for me would definitely be the Year of Zelda situation. But just remember, be respectful of your fellow gamers. Be respectful of the game developers and the social media people who have to work talking about these games no matter what people are responding. It's nice to be nice. And that includes to people that you don't see face to face all the time. Looking forward to see what you all thought. I'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Deku, deku, deku. Da-na-na-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Da-na-na-na-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.